Hi, everyone, and welcome to Resurrection Christian School. Thank you for participating in this very brief introduction to biblical integration. As we discuss biblical integration in academics, it's important that we understand, first of all, what the definition of integration is. Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary is a great resource for looking for definitions because it was actually written from a biblical worldview. And Webster defined integration as to renew, to restore, to perfect, to make entire. It comes from the root word in Latin called integritas, which meant wholeness, entireness, completeness. So when we look at integration according to these definitions, we understand that biblical integration makes the curriculum complete. Educator Frank Gablin said, Christian education does not need to keep looking for the integrating factor. It already has this factor. So considering biblical integration, we understand that there is a purpose, there is God's purpose to teach each academic subject area. And we understand that first, and through that, we find the truths in the academic subject areas. When we think of biblical integration in our subject areas, we need to keep in mind that biblical integration is not simply including a Bible verse in an assignment or reading Bible verses on horses, using a science experiment as an analogy to the Christian life. Biblical integration isn't praying in class. It isn't having class devotions. Biblical integration is not casually referring to the greatness of God during a lecture or discussion. You'll find in this session and also in the live session discussing biblical integration that biblical integration from a biblical perspective is much more than this. A very practical example of biblical integration can be seen in Acts chapter 17, verse 11. This is a passage where Paul and Silas were teaching the Bereans. And the verse says that the Bereans were noble, or that they were good, because they received the word eagerly, and then they went home daily and searched the scriptures to see if what Paul and Silas said was true or not. This is what we want to happen to our students through biblical integration. We model to them what the information is. And in a sense, we put the information through a funnel that is biblical integration. We want our students ultimately to be good Bereans, that they learn eagerly, that they are teachable, but also that they learn to view everything from a biblical perspective. H.W. Byrne, who was a Christian educator in the mid-20th century, said the goal of Christian education is to see God revealed and to qualify man to reveal God. In other words, the goal of each academic subject area in a Christian school is to help students see how God is revealed in that subject area. But also, ultimately, the goal of teaching is to qualify our students to reveal God in the subject area as they study it further. Some examples of how God is revealed in the various subject areas include how science reveals the creativity of God, how history reveals the story of God in the lives of people and nations, how music reveals the beauty of God, how mathematics reveals the order of God in problem solving. Now that you've had a very brief introduction to biblical integration, we would like you to go ahead and just give this a try. Write down 2 to 3 things that you think students can learn about God by studying an academic subject that you will teach this year. We'll discuss what you've written down at a later time.